Okay, I have got this one.
I cannot see it.
I can't see it. Too far away.
Deze.
Oh, record. Yeah. Note to self.
How did I have the everybody now?
This one.
This one. Oh, what are you here? Is it a mosque?
Op.
Wat een mosque.
Ik hoor de moskee. Is er iets aan de hand?
Is vast is het geen Ramadan of zo?
Ja.
Ja. Nu gaan ze denk ik met z'n allen arm in arm eten.
That's probably
No.
Where's from outside?
Yeah, outside, yeah.
Outside. I think we can start. Nee, Gerrit is er niet.
What do you say, George?
Gerrit is er niet.
Oh.
No?
Is zeker.
No, I don't see it. No.
Hij is waarschijnlijk bang, want hij moet nou 30 keer opdrukken. Dus,
Okay, shall we start?
yes, we can start. Okay, I will mute everybody. Let me see. Poink. Yes. No, yes. Donk. Ja, James, je bent on.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Yep, everybody looking good. Hair a little longer than last week, but
James niet, geloof ik.
no, not with JC. Okay, we had two questions, one regarding self-defense and one regarding the headbutt. Stephen, your question regarding self-defense. Normally, when we train, we do train from a non-guard position. But if you want to train self-defense, you should train it from a normal standing position. And then there are all kinds of self-defense against grabs or people holding you. I guess you all know this book, Bruce Lee's Fighting Method.
Yeah.
And in this book, there's a chapter about self-defense, and there's also the four-part book series, and I think the first part is also dedicated to self-defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to train it realistically. So just from a normal standing position, someone grabs you, and then it's a matter of nearest weapon to the longest weapon to the nearest target. And actually, we don't train that too often, but you should. As for the headbutt, that's a very good weapon, but you have to be very careful with headbutt. If you want to do a good headbutt, you do it with the top of your head, and what you do is you look at the ground. So don't make headbutt like this with the front part of your head, but you make headbutt with the top of your head. So you look at the ground, and then you just make that part. Use that part to make contact. Very useful in at short range. But like I said, you have to be very careful with it. Okay, then we go to the progressive weapons chart. on page 35 of the book. Everybody got their book? Co said that in the old book, the English version, it's page 35. The new book, English version, it's 38. The Dutch version, the first edition, is 43, and new edition, Dutch one, is 45. And it says progressive weapon chart. Okay, it says because of their advanced position, your leading foot and hand constitute at least 80% of all kicking and striking. Later, Bruce Lee wrote 90%. They are halfway to the target before starting. So that means that you don't have to move your stance if you're hitting with the lead weapons. Every time you use your rear hand of your rear foot, if I use my lead hand, I can just kick or punch without changing stance. But once I use the rear weapons, then you have to change your stance. So that's a big advantage if you hit with the lead hand and the lead foot. They're halfway to the target, so that means you can hit faster, but you can also retract faster. And plus you can hit in fractions, because you don't have to start from rear, but you hit from the front, so you can make twice hit where your opponent hitting with his rear hand can only make one hit. It is important that they can strike with speed and power singly or in combinations. And when we talk about combinations in this context, it's combinations of the lead hand and lead foot. So not like, for instance, what we trained last week, a jab, a cross, and a hook, but in this case, it's everything with the lead hand and lead foot. Okay, if you look on the next page, there are these small drawings. So it's, on top, it's the right lead stance and the right leading weapons. And as you can see, Bruce Lee writes which weapons you can use to attack. Now, when you attack with the hand, in Jeet Kune Do, the arm, for instance, is divided in 3 parts. The first section from the fingertips to your wrist, the second section from the wrist to the elbow, and the third section from the elbow to the shoulder. If you are hitting, when you are on long range, you can use the full arm, whereas your finger jab is your longest hand weapon. If you make it a little shorter, you come to a fist. And if you make the first section shorter again, you come to a palm strike. So for the first section of your hand, you can hit with the palm, fist, and fingers. When you're closer, you can hit with elbow. So that's closer to your opponent, you can hit with the elbows. And if you're standing toe to toe, you can use your shoulder to attack. So what you can do is you can make a shoulder check. And can everybody still hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So when you with the legs, it's actually the same. So in long range, you can make the kick, but when you're in short range, you can also use the knee or use the hip to attack. So 3 ranges, 3 sections. Now the finger jab is only used at the eyes. You wouldn't finger jab someone on the chin or on the head, because there's a big risk that you break your fingers. Hitting with the fist is okay, but there's still a risk that if you turn your wrist, or if you hit your opponent the wrong way, that you break it. If you hit with a palm strike, you've got those two big bones supporting it, and that will give the least risk on injuries. So bear it in mind when you are, for instance, fighting in street fighting. You can maybe you can better use palm hits instead of fist then. Okay, that was the part about the progressive weapon charge. I give the floor to Coach now.
1 second. Yes, Coach, you're on.
I am on. Okay, wonderful. Well, I have to improvise a little bit today because I'm in my kitchen. I don't have enough. It's for such bad weather out there, so I don't have so much space as I normally have in the garden. So bear with me. You might not be able to see my feet today, but hopefully you will understand what I'm on about when I talk to you. The subject I was going to cover today that we've agreed is that of the stop hit, the stop kick, and the shin kick. Now the stop hit is, we're going to start with that one. It's a weapon that, or tactic that is originally from fencing. This is where Bruce discovered it. He also found its use a lot in old style boxing. Nowadays you don't see it so much anymore, but certainly in the older days, older rules, it was used quite a lot. He also read in several books that at the time, in boxing, there's basically two ways to defend. You could either block, or put a barrier up, or you could stop the attack of your opponent or intercept it. And what is very important with that is obviously timing. When do you execute such a technique? Most of the time, in our case, we use a stop hit towards the head. It's not that important where it's aimed at, although the head is obviously most effective. The purpose of the technique is to stop the advance of your opponent. It's not meant to knock someone out. If that happens in the process, great, bonus, you can run away, safe. But that's not the intention. It's to stop an advance, to intercept his attack. Now, I just mentioned the word timing. There are a couple of ways, a couple of moments in a fight where you can deploy a stop hit or a stop kick, for that matter. And those are when the opponent is about to attack you. So that's on preparation, attack on preparation, it's called. It can be during his attack. So his attack is already on its way. So that's during. Attack on attack is sometimes mentioned. And the last part is attack of recovery. Now, that sounds a bit strange perhaps, because you think if he's recovered, he's already done something, he's retreating. In this case, it could be maybe in the middle of a combo. Let's take the old example of a jab and rear cross. You then perform your stop hit just before he has time to execute the rear cross, for example. As you could argue it's it's an attack of preparation, but as he's in the middle of a combination, I prefer to say that's an attack of recovery on the jab, because something else is following anyway. Now it's a little bit difficult to train all three today, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with a clicker. Hopefully you can hear this thing. Yeah, all good.
Yep.
And what we're going to be doing is from your on guard position, I'm just going to click the clicker on random. And what we're going to do is just execute a stop hit. And that is very much like a straight lead. Boom. But we'll make sure we lock it in position briefly. And that's how I'm going to hold my attacker. Okay, you could almost stop, no further. Okay, boom, like that. So you don't step forward with this. He's doing that for you. He's coming at you. So all you have to do is stop his advance and aim at the head of your opponent. Okay, and we're going to do this at random. You may even elect, in case of what Stephen just asked during questions, how do you do this from a self-defense position? Well, you could do it from a normal neutral position like this. And when you hear the click, somebody attacks you. You hit in your straight lead, and then you're in your guard after it. So choose whatever you want to do, either from a neutral position, you're being attacked, boom, fire it in, lock it for a moment, then in your own guard position, okay? So if you want to be ready, and hopefully you can hear it, I'll hold it up a little bit because my microphone is near my ear here. Ready? Boom, good. And in your own guard position or ready position, whatever you want to do. Ready? Oh, just lock it for a minute, okay? Yeah.
Second.
Yes. So I'm going to be irregular. Not yet. Boom. Good. Boom. Okay. Try it with your other hand now. So if you did your stronger side earlier on, you do it with the other side this time. Here we go. Boom. Yeah. One more. Okay. So I guess the concept is clear there. Obviously, the right moment is something that you have to learn to feel when you're working with a partner. And you can do this sort of drill a bit better. The hardest of that one, obviously, is the attack of preparation, because you need to be able to read your opponent really, really well to understand when he's about to attack you. It's easier to do it during, obviously, because it's well on its way. Okay, the next one, first I wanted to do is a shin kick. I've got a reason for going out of sequence a little bit, but I'll explain that in a little bit, later on, okay? So the shin kick is again a long weapon to his nearest target. It could be his shin or his knee, but the principle is the same. Now you cannot see my feet, I think, but you just have to believe that I have feet. They're down there somewhere. Okay. The mechanics of the shin kicks are the same as the kicks we practiced before. So the lift of the knee is the same, but instead of going in this angle there somewhere, it's going down towards the opponent's knee or shin. And if you can see this from the side a little bit, if I'm over here, so up, down. So it's a kick, it's an attacking weapon. You can do this with the pendulum step if you've got enough space. So use your footwork, boom, and kick it in low, or or with a step and slide. Sorry, with a burst going forward. Whatever you got space for, okay? So just start with your stronger side. Chin, kick, low. Ready? Boom. And lock it in, and then afterwards in your own guard. Ready? Okay, change sides, other foot. Same thing again. Ready? Last one. Okay. So that's the basic shin kick. Now, what is the difference between this one and a stop kick? Difference is the execution of the kick, clearly. What you have to be careful of with a stop kick is keep in mind that the attacker is about to rush onto you. He's coming at you. What you don't want to do is to give him more time to get closer. So if I execute a stop kick in the same way as I were to do a shin kick, I lift my knee up. What happens? I just bring him in. Okay? If I do this, he'll come closer and I won't have space anymore to execute that kick. So what is important is with the stop kick is basically, and this is a shame that you can't see my feet now, but you launch it straight out, almost without bending your knee. It's just to, this is my foot, boom. That's all that's happening with it. Just bring it out and stopping it low. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah? Okay. So be careful that if you're executing a stop kick when he rushes at you, don't do this because you give him another couple of tenths of a seconds to get closer to you, and this is not going to work anymore. As soon as you see him, boom, you stretch out your leg in the forward direction. Okay? Ready? We go again. Boom. Yeah. Again, the intention here with this kick is not to break something. It's not like smash his knee to pieces. It's a stop his advance. Then you can follow up. With a shin kick, that is, boom, you could probably try and do some damage. The stop kick is intended to hold his advance, to intercept it. Okay, ready? Boom. Other side. Ready?
Make sure you turn your hips to get a correct body alignment. So your hips, your knee and your foot should be on one line.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
One straight line.
I have one more. Okay. That's that. Everybody clear with this? You understand the difference in execution between a shin kick and a stop kick? Yeah. Any questions? I don't know if James can see it. I only see a few people on my screen, but if anybody has a question, please wave. And James can maybe pick it up on his larger screen.
And I don't see any questions.
Okay, that's good.
Everybody,
I'm baffled.
yeah, everybody did well. I've got one remark about the stop hit. Make sure that after you've made it, you don't drop the hand, but you punch and it comes back straight. You might want to take another shot if it fails. If you drop your hand, you're not in a position that you can do it. So make sure it goes straight in, straight back. Don't drop it.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks
Okay. All right. Okay, well, considering the fact I've got smaller space, I did have some combos lined up, but that'll be for another time when I've got more space to maneuver. So I would like to stop there and give the floor to George now. That's okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
have to wake up. All right, let me see. Up. Okay.
Yeah, one thing before I forget, actually, if you want to know more about the stop hit, page 65 of the DAO, the expanded English edition. I haven't had the time to check the other pages, but that's where you find it in a chapter about timing. That's why I mentioned it. Okay.
Okay. All right, just for warming up, we start with the jab and the cross. No footwork, only jab and cross, and we do it in the tempo. If you can hear it, let me see. Can you hear this? Yeah, right. Will you click on it?
yes.
Oh, okay. Well, got a super device over here. Okay, we're going in this tempo. We're going just to like that. One tempo. 1, 2 back. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. All right, just for warming up, so no power. Only warm up.
Occasionally the audio drops away, but I'm just keeping going on this tempo.
When you make the cross, keep your guards up. Now I don't hear it anymore, George. The sound.
Okay.
Yeah, better.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
I shall mute my microphone as well.
No, now
Als jij erheen komt, dan ben je mijn geluid weg waarschijnlijk. Kijken. Nu wel?
Ja.
Oké. En 2.
Nee.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, other side. Just the same tempo. If you can hear it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, relax. Relax. Don't fall asleep. But all right. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit faster. So the number one is what you just did was on the beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, and actually the second one has to be on a half beat. And the half beat is when you're retracting the front hand. So if you make the first one, you retract this one, and this one is already going that way. So 1, 2. It's not 1, 2, but 1. You pull this one back, and this one is going out. Boom. 1 and 2. 1, 1. Pull back and push out. 1. So you need both the arms to work together. One, the front hand you're pulling back, and the rear hand you're pushing out. So it's not only moving your hand, but you pull back the front hand and you throw out the rear hand. Yeah. We're gonna do it. You have to watch me because I give the command. It is here. If I push one, you make 1, 2. Yeah, so just relax. move a little bit. And when you see this one, you punch. Yeah, and just relax again. You can move a little bit forward, backward, sideways. We're all advanced students, so you can move a little bit, but you have to watch. And there, boom, boom, you can go. Yeah, fast punches. Relax, move a little bit. Okay, other side forward. Okay, just relax, move a little bit. Don't be a dummy, be like water. All right, ready. Okay, relax. Very good. As fast as lightning. Okay, last time we did cover the hook. Well, it was a little bit difficult to think. The footwork was still a little bit difficult. So we're gonna separate that. So from your on guard, you step outside and you step back. Turn your hip in it, your foot in it, your shoulder in it, and after that you go back to on guard. So it's also a little bit of balance. First one is step out, stay there. Second one, step back on the line. You don't have to make a full hook, just only step back and take your shoulder with it. And the third one is going back to on guard. So you don't want to drop down if you step to the outside of the inside or the inside. You have to be in balance. Yes? All right. So first one, step out and move your head out of the way. This hand is here for cover. Yeah, for your head. Second one, step back. And the third one, on guard again. If you are correct now, you're still on the line again. You don't have tape, I see. Next time you have tape, you see it. Yeah, okay, step out. Oh, this one. Stay there, don't fall over. Step back. And on guard. Yes. Okay, you can move a little bit. But when you see this one, step out and stay there. In balance, step back to the on guard position and back in perfect on guard position. Yep. Okay. Just move a little bit. Stay there, in balance, back and on guard. Yes, that's it. Okay, relax. In balance. Back. Sorry, it was too early. The third one. Okay. Okay, relax. Don't forget your rear head blocking here. Take a block back and on guard. All right. Very good. One more. Okay. Other side. So step out. First one is step out. Not too far. 15 centimeters is enough. Keep this one up. Second one is step back on the line. Hip, shoulder. And the third one is going back to on guard position. Okay, relax. Okay, balance, back, and on guard. Right cover fast after the step out. When the flash is, step back to the on guard position right away. Yep. All right. Relax. Stay there. On guard. Guard over here. Back. And relax. Everybody in balance. Yeah. Back. Oh, sorry. Number 3. Yep. Freeze motion. Up, back. And relax.
Don't cross the center line with your lead hand when you make the second motion.
Yeah, you're not.
That wasn't to you, George. I saw some people doing that.
You mean with this one?
Exactly.
Okay. It's not you don't have to make a hook yet. You only from here you only use your hip in it. Okay, relax. And outside, imbalance. And back. Up. And relax. Nice balance. That's pretty good. Relax. Okay, one more with the. Are we sweating? No, not yet. From here, you're going to step out with your front leg.
Oh, we lost you.
Ben ik er nog? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah. So you step out, you pivot, and you make the hook with your front end. And the hook is very short, so don't go from here to there. No, the person is coming towards you. You step out of the way, and you pivot, short one, hook on the kidneys. Bam, there. Yeah. So from here, step out, pivot with a hook, and back to on guard. So the first flash is step out, pivot with a hook. You're in the on guard position under 45 degrees. And the second flash is going back to the on guard. Yep, all right. Just move a little bit, relax. So step out, pivot, and a low hook. Okay, stay in balance. Check your on guard position. You're on the 35 degrees, but perfect on guard. And then you go back. So it's a very short hook. The person is over here. He's coming towards you. He's over here. And this, can you see it over here? And this one you make the hook. So the hook is still almost 90 degrees. Hook, low hook. Oh, there. So don't step too far outside. If you step too far, you can't reach him anymore. Just a little step. And when you turn your hip at the pivot, your hip is going, your arm is going, and your hook is going. All right. Ready? On guard. Okay, other side. So very small step aside, turn your hip in the pivot, and take the hook with it. 45 degrees, perfect on guard position that way, and back. All right. Very good. Swing your hip in it with the hook. Pivot, swing it, boom. Short hook. Okay, relax. Very good. So step in, step out. Use your hips. Always use your footwork.
That was difficult. The kitchen floor got so slippery, I had to be very careful where I put my foot.
No excuses. Oh man. Flip flop.
My forehead is leaking a little bit, that's probably why.
Hey, that's straight.
Any questions?
Yeah, one more question. If you're in 45 degrees, and you step out 45 degrees, when you come back on in garbage, you put your rear back first, or you like this?
What is the question exactly? First your front leg and then your rear leg?
You're on guard position. Yeah, you step
Yes.
out 45
Yeah.
degrees, you put your head, your hook.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you come back, you're on guard position. You always first with your rear feet, and then you come back with your front leg. Or opposite way. You go back with your front leg and then.
No.
No.
The other way.
Like this?
Yeah.
You're first. Otherwise, you cross your legs.
Exactly.
You are super fast, so that doesn't matter if you take the front or the rear. But first the rear, then you're standing in on guard again.
Okay.
Don't give up. Don't give up your stance. All right. Any questions? Left. Nobody. Oh man.
Steven has a question.
Steven has a question. Oh, he's waving. Hey man, what's up?
Hello.
Yeah. You're on.
Yeah, I'm here. I noticed you did the vertical fist. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
When do we use the shuffle hook?
Depends on what you want to hit.
Okay.
You want to lower. Yeah, the shuffle can be in this range. Actually, it's just like an uppercut. It can just like an uppercut. But the hook is for very close range because it's over here. You see, so
It's a bent arm punch.
it's over here. And the shuffle, you can make a longer reach. So the hook is on very close range.
Okay. All right. I will just hook June from now on.
Huh? Yeah, right. Just one. That's enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Other questions? Nobody? Shuffle.
Anybody? Yeah.
Shuffle. Someone talking? No.
I have a question.
Hier. Ja, komt u maar. Wacht even. Ik zet even iedereen on mute. Want iedereen loopt eruit te kwikken. Hè? Waar is Jace? Jace. Ja, zeg het maar, Jace.
In het Engels of in het Nederlands gewoon?
Ja, doe maar Engels. Doe maar Engels. English.
When you
Great Britain.
elevate your shoulder, or do you keep it relaxed, like low?
Leaning forward or relaxed?
With the shoulder. If you pivot, do you tilt it slightly, or do you keep it like press it down?
No. There is tension on it. Normally the hook is when you turn, on one moment you feel it the grip on your shoulder when you turn, and that's tension, and then you go. So it's not only this, but you turn your hip, and then you feel the tension over here, and then you make the arm movement. So it's tense. It's tense.
Because I got the habit to, when I pivot, I go like elevate my.
Yeah, whether you raise your shoulder or not is the question, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If your shoulder up gooit. Okay, yeah, that depends on on the height you want to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the tension is always there, or there. Doesn't matter.
What George is telling, when you're in your on guard position, when you turn your body, you leave your hand behind. So there's a moment that you feel that there's tension. It's difficult to explain, but when you keep your hand in position and you turn your shoulder, at one point it catches. And that's the moment you turn. So you can just start from on guard, turn the body, and now you feel it catching. There's tension, and that's the moment you turn. So there's how would you explain it?
Elasticity.
Sorry?
Yeah, there's tension like a rubber band.
Yeah, and so here you are stretching the band, and
Yeah.
when you stretch it, that's the point that you turn. So you're not relaxing it the moment you hit your opponent.
No, in that way you can keep it compact also. You know, you don't want to make a hook over here and hook there. It's just compact. Turn your hip in it,
Yeah.
and then you're hit it on this movement. Very close.
So try to train it very slow. So keep your hands in front, and then you turn your body, and now you feel it catching here. That's like Coach said, you feel it stretching, and that's the moment that you turn.
Yeah. It's not so easy.
No,
It looks easy.
if it's a rotation motion, it's almost as if your hips pull your upper body along. So the hips start, and then you have to release this tension. If it's a straight line, your hips push into the punch.
Yes. Hips and footwork. That's what it is. Yep. Alrighty.
Alrighty.
More?
No more.
No more? Okay.
Then we see you all next week.
Hit the shower.
Thank you. Salute.
Okay. Great. Bye-bye. Take care.
Nice.
Be safe.
Bye, guys.
So, bye. Can go to sleep, June. Bye.
Goedenavond.
Yo, Dolle. Hoi. Let me check it. Doei.